So Giannis Antetokounmpo hasn't even officially asked for a trade, but we are getting news on who is ready to pounce the moment he does. Shams even canceled his summer plans, making a very bold statement.
This offseason might be the most craziest ever.
Most craziest ever.
That's
crazy.
MCE? And of course, the most craziest name is Giannis. But a very interesting report about what the man wants. A legit NBA reporter named Scoop B. Johnson says if Giannis ever makes the leap and requests a trade, I am told he's looking for 3 things. 1, staying in the Eastern Conference to keep his travel and media profile intact. 2, being in a position of control with a voice in roster building and coaching direction. And 3, a market where other stars would want to join him, a place that isn't just a destination for him, but could become a destination because of him. And that gives 2 teams an edge over everyone else. The Brooklyn Nets and
the Raptors are a team that is starting to make noise within the league about looking for a big fish.
Whoa. A big fish? Well, there's only one actually big fish, and it is not 37-year-old Kevin Durant, no offense. So on the heels of that report, the Toronto Star did some digging. But it is hot here in Houston, Texas, but luckily I am a sports fan, and we have an indoor baseball stadium here, so I get a handful of Astros games every single year. Just a fun time with family and friends in the summer. So the number 1 thing that I really need is air conditioning, but number 2, a close number 2, is a good deal on tickets, which is why I want to give the sponsor of today's video, SeatGeek, a huge shout out. With over 28 million downloads, SeatGeek is the number 1 rated ticketing app. There are more than 70,000 events listed on SeatGeek, including concerts, sports, festivals, and more. Right now, you can get tickets to the new MLB season, the NBA Finals, the NHL playoffs are officially here as well, and I love using SeatGeek. I even took my son to yet another Rockets game, and honestly, I was kind of afraid about the noise at first, but he didn't care. He loved it. So looking here on the app, here is that indoor stadium that I was talking about, and look at this. If we zoom in, first I'm going to tell him, I want like 3 tickets. Not bad. Right here along the third base line, green means it's a great deal. I can see what the view would look like from my seats. I really like this. And SeatGeek's got your back. Each ticket is rated on a scale of 1 to 10, so you know you're getting a good deal. Look for those green dots. Green means good, red means bad, pretty easy. Plus, every ticket is backed by their buyer guarantee, and you know I came through for you guys. You can use code AMHOOPS10 for 10% off your next set of tickets at SeatGeek. That is 10% off any tickets with promo code AMHOOPS10. Make sure you click the link in the description to download the app and have the code automatically added to your account so that you can use it later. Now, the Toronto Star is as reliable as it gets on news about the Raptors because you trust these local reporters above everyone else because they are on the ground with team sources in the city. And they say, I do know there is mutual interest between Antetokounmpo and the Raptors. The wild card is cost, but I also think that the Raptors are uniquely placed to make an attractive offer that won't ruin their franchise or roster, which is key to all of this because Giannis doesn't want to go to some gutted team. This is all about championships. So what do the Raptors have to give up and how real is this? Well, first of all, the Raptors have a good thing going, okay? They've got young players. Why rush things? Because since losing Kawhi in 2019, they have been a mess. First, it was built around Pascal Siakam. That didn't work. Then they traded vets for young guys and have now missed the playoffs 4 out of the last 5 years. This is a proud franchise. What are we doing? What do they have to show for that, by the way? No big lottery luck like Dallas or San Antonio. The highest that Toronto has picked since Scotty Barnes is 13th for Grady Dick. All they got was Dick. And you know what the worst part is? This is the NBA of parity. 7 different champs in 7 years. This is the time to get good and take your shot. It's not like the mid-2010s where we had the KD Warriors and it felt like the champion was obvious before every season. No way, this is a big opportunity. And in the East, Boston's looking to dump salary with Jason Tatum injured. Cavs might trade guys. And Indy is the biggest finals underdog outside of the Cavs against those KD Warriors since 2014. Make a move. But hold on. If they want to win so bad, Didn't they just have the conference finals MVP on their team? And what about OG Anunoby? Looked pretty good on the Knicks. He was a Raptor. So was Fred VanVleet, who just took Houston to the 2 seed. All these guys were in Toronto. So why would Giannis feel good about a team that couldn't make that core work? Well, after Kawhi left, Pascal slotted in as their number 1, and he put up all-star numbers, but was way over his skis as a number 1 on a winning team, okay? Now that he's on the Pacers back to a supporting role, it's not a coincidence that he's thriving again. And as for OG, dude asked for a trade 2 times during his final 2 years, okay? He said it was, I want a bigger role, but have you seen him in New York? He doesn't really have a bigger role there. It's just for some reason, dude wanted out of there. And if they didn't trade OG, he probably would have walked for nothing, and they weren't going to pay Pascal and OG Anunoby and Fred VanVleet what they all eventually got paid. But the real reason that core didn't work is Scotty Barnes. Okay, the Raptors had a down season, so they jumped to number 4, took Scotty over Jalen Suggs, who was the consensus pick, and it was an amazing decision. He wins Rookie of the Year, but it's a turning point, okay? Do we maximize OG and Pascal or prioritize Scotty Barnes? Like, were they willing to trade Scotty to give that Pascal OG team a real chance to win? No, they weren't willing to trade him, and why would they? A 6'7" badass rookie. But because they did nothing, that whole group never had a chance. So they traded their vets and eventually got back RJ Barrett, Emmanuel Quickley, Brandon Ingram, and Jacoby Walter, who are now the foundation of a Giannis trade package. And oh, by the way, if the Bucks don't get their own picks back, they are going to need a bunch of young, good players like this, okay? But Raptors fans are going to hate what's in this trade package, okay? It all starts with one name, and you know it. Scotty Barnes. That'll be the first name out of Bucks GM John Horst's mouth. But is it such a bad thing? I mean, to have more depth around Giannis when he gets here, make sure that they keep Emmanuel Quickley for his shooting. And I mean, Giannis and Scotty aren't exactly a perfect fit, but is Masai actually that desperate? Well, his first year leading Toronto was 2013, and the Raptors had no picks in that draft, but Masai was obsessed with this rail-thin kid from Greece. So he was all hitting the phones, trying to get a deal done.
Okay, no problem. Thank you. Bye-bye. No deal.
Several teams said no, and the look on their faces hanging up the phone for the last time before Giannis went to Milwaukee says it all. They were devastated. And you know that has stuck with Masai all these years. He definitely has kicked himself a million times for not offering more on draft night. I mean, OKC was there for number 12 to get Giannis, and the package just wasn't good enough. So is he gonna lowball now? I mean, since that draft night, Giannis has done everything. MVPs, Finals MVP. In fact, he is so in his prime right now that he's been top 4 in MVP voting the last 7 years. All defense, defensive player of the years, whatever. So I know that fans love Scotty Barnes, but remember who you're trading him for, okay? So the deal is the Raptors get Giannis, the Bucks get Scotty, Jakob Poeltl, and control of 5 first-round picks, including number 9 this year. So that's control of 5 first and the best young player that Milwaukee's gonna get for Giannis. Now, the Bucks also would ask for RJ Barrett here. You know they would. They'd say, how about RJ and Scotty? But I think Masai would hold firm. Now, this team, the Raptors, are gonna need shooting. But the good news, they would still be $12.3 million below the first apron. So they've got a mid-level exception to use on a guy like, I don't know, Ty Jerome, who came close to a 50-40-90 season last year in Cleveland. Maybe a Keon Ellis, who shot 43% from deep on 6 attempts per 36. Either way, Masai does not want to let Giannis go for a second time by lowballing another offer. And report says they've got mutual interest. I mean, you know Giannis is not afraid to live in an international city, and if it's really between the Raptors and the Brooklyn Nets to stay in the East, Toronto, no doubt, has a way better roster for him to compete. We just now have to wait for Giannis to say the word, and the Raps will put their best trade package against everyone else. But Shubs did say the most craziest summer ever, so outside of Giannis, what else is happening? Well, the Timberwolves are not afraid of a big move. We know that. A few years ago, Rudy Gobert. Last year, Karl Anthony Towns. So what is the big shakeup they are planning now to help Anthony Edwards?